Hello and welcome to Clear for Takeoff podcast. My name is Ron Gilmore and I am your host. Welcome to the first episode, guys. I cannot wait to get this started. So before we actually do get started about this, I'm just going to tell you what this podcast is about and basically what it involves. So obviously, this podcast is called Clear for Takeoff, and we'll be talking. We'll be talking about airlines. We'll be talking about news about airlines. We'll be talking about mostly about airlines and aviation. Mostly about commercial flights. But we do talk about more non-commercial flights as well. So yeah, this is the first episode. Disclaimer: if this sounds a bit weird, my mic isn't that good. I'll be up on the stages on my mic. I'm just using an old mic that I use basically. But yeah, welcome to the podcast. So why is this name called Clear for Takeoff podcast? Clear for Takeoff is meaning for aviation. When you're on the runway, they'll say clear for takeoff. So that's why we call it. This podcast will be every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. every week, 7 p.m., which is very, very fun as well. So without further ado, let's go on to our first airline. And yes, so firstly, before we do kick off, okay, we'll be just telling you about some of the news. Some of news just came in just 1 minute ago. European Air Source Space Giant Airbus delivered 71 aircraft in October 2023 to 42 customers worldwide, with single aisles and dominating once again. A total of 60 single aisliners were delivered, including 28 A321 Neos, 23 A320 and 7 A220 and 300, including Wizz Air and Flyers on British Airways. So that just came in 1 minute ago. Okay, now if you're wondering where I get all these news from, if you do not want to wait for me, I get all these news from UK Aviation News. Just type that up on your internet and they will come up. So, by the way, that is not a sponsor. I just use them. Sometimes I would use different apps, but that's where we're getting it from. Anyway, so let's go on to talking about some airlines, okay? Now, we are going to start off with, obviously, my favourite airline, British Airways. Okay. So we're going to go into that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Anyway, so yeah. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to get up British Airways. Well, I just read down for us to actually talk about. Okay, there. So, we're going to look at the history of British Airways and how it's so we're just going to be exploring their past, etc, etc, etc. First of all, British Airways can trace its original back to the birth of civilian aviation. The poignant days following the World War I in the 100 years that have passed since the world first scheduled air service on 25th of August 1919. Air travels have changed beyond all recognition. Each decade saw new developments and challenges which shaped the path for the future. Discover the different eras and air travel and how British Airways became the airline it is today. 1910 to 1919. On 25th of August 1919, Aircraft Transport and Travel Limited A forerunner company of today's British Airways launched the first daily international scheduled air service between London and Paris. That was the first flight, which took off from Houston Heath, close to Heathrow Airport, and it carried a single passenger and a cargo, which included newspapers, Devonshire cream, jam, and grease. So that was the first flight. If you didn't know, on the 25th of 19, it was the first flight basically. There was one single passenger on that, and they were carrying newspaper, Devonshire cream, jam, grease. If you don't know what that is, if you don't know what Devon cream and all is, it's just a company. Look it up. So that's what they were doing. That's what they were shipping. That was their first flight. They were shipping that over. Okay, they were shipping that over with British Airways, basically. Okay, 1920 to 1929. In 1924, Imperial Airways was created as the government's chosen instrument of air travel by the amalgamation of the In-Store Airline Ltd, Handelsblad Air Transport Ltd, the Daimler Airway, and British Marine Air Navigation Co. Imperial began services from London Croydon to European destinations, as well as pouring routes to Africa, the Middle East, and India. On to 1930 to 1939. So 1930 to 1939. The introduction of luxurious aircraft, including the EP1, offered customers low levels of luxury at fault. Imperial Airways opened services from Southampton to Empire destinations using the short S-23 flying boat. The Empire Air Mail scheme was introduced as well. In 1935, four private airlines were merged into form the independent British Airways Limited. In 1939, the government announced the decision to merge the two airlines. So it looks like they were introducing the luxurious aircrafts, and in 1939, the government announced its decision to merge the two airlines, which is actually very, very fascinating, to be honest, because I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that the government announced its decision to merge the two airlines, which was very good. So 1940 to 1989. British Overseas Airlines Incorporated, BOAC. The new state airline was formed in April 1940 and operated wartime services under the control of our ministry. In 1946, London Airport officially opened. I don't know if you're meant to clap. British European Airways, BEA, and British South American Airways, BSAA, were created to operate commercial services to Europe and South America respectively. Until 1950 to 1959. The delivery in 1952 of the De Hamilton Comet enabled BOAC to operate the world's first pure jet services in October 1953. The Comet 4 operated the first transatlantic pure jet service. BEA successfully introduced the world-beaten figures. This kind of propeller turbined aircraft into services on its UK, domestic and European routes. The centre of London Airport opened in April 1955 as well. Whoa, this is going to be long. Anyway, 1960 to 1969, deliveries of the Boeing 7070. Now, that wouldn't be my favourite airline. I don't even know if do airlines still operate that airline? I don't think most airlines do it, or do they? Yep, loads. I think loads. Oh, so there's Viraji, Luthera. Oh my god, Luthera. Luthera. I don't even know how to say that airline. Sorry. Why I saw that airline have that before. Oh well, I did not know that. Learning stuff every day. That's what this podcast is about. Anyway, and so deliveries of Boeing 777 and Victories. I mean, I cannot even pronounce that. I am so sorry. Vickers VC tends to BOAC. I don't know. I'm not even gonna say no airline does that because the last time I said it, they do. Anyway, yeah. So that is that. Did I say that? Yeah. In 1979, British Airways created by the merger of BOAC and BEA. So if you don't know that is something about America and then Europe. So yeah. 1980 to 1989. The new corporate identity designed by Lander Associates was unveiled in December 1989. In December 1984. In 1986, the airline's long-haul services moved onto the newly built Terminal 4 at Heathrow Airport. The provision of British Airways was completed in 1987 under the leadership of Chairman Lord King. In 1988, BA was merged by Gatwick-based British Caledonian Airways. We're coming into my days. 1990 to 1999. In June 1997, airline unveiled the new corporate identity incorporating on its aircraft designs from around the world. A new fleet of Airbus aircraft was ordered for short-haul services in 1999. The format of the new global alliance's One World was announced, which also included Qantas and American. Here we go. 2000 to 2009, with much acclaim, Concorde retired from the service in 2023. Now, the Concorde, 20 years ago, a couple of weeks ago there, so Heathrow's Terminal 5 was opened by the Queen Elizabeth in March 2023, and orders for new Airbus A380s and Boeing 787 Dreamliners were announced. My favourite Airbus is an A380. Oh, that's all I'm saying. Lord Marshal of King Knightsbridge retired as chairman of British Airways and was succeeded by Martin Bouton. The airline inaugurated the first long-haul route from London City Airport to New York. 2010. The present day. Sustainability Open Skies commercial services between Paris only and Washington Dulles. Newly created international airlines group from AIG. It is formed and takes over British Airways and Embraer. Willie Walsh becomes chef inclusive of IAA, and Keith Williams takes over as chef, inclusive of British Airways. Joint business venture and American Airlines is also approved. British Airways takes delivery of B777 to 300ER and retires the last B757. Gonna look what. Oh. What? I honestly thought they still do that. I don't even know. Terminal 5C opens for business and London City Airport celebrates 25 years. British Airways and Abrilia Cargo are integrated into IAG Cargo Limited. Sir Ross Stanton and Lord Marshall pass away. IAG buys BMI. British Airways carries the Olympic flame on board, and Airbus 319 specially named Firefly and sponsored the Olympics and Paralympics. S7 Malaysia Airlines, Qatar Airways and Open Skies join One World. S7 is no longer a part of the alliances. British Airways and Qatar terminate their long-standing commercial agreement. British Airways and Japan Airlines from new joint business venture. Woo! That was a lot, but at least we got there. At least we got there by British Airways. So now you know the history of British Airways from 1910 to literally the present day. So that was very good. Facts about British Airways. Okay. Probably wondering where I got all that information. If you go into the British Airways past, British Airways website, it literally just says explore our past. So yeah. So that's British Airways. Okay, I'm not gonna speak about I'm not gonna give you the past about other airlines in this episode. You can look at that in our next episode coming up. What do you want me to give you the history of? Let me know, please. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X, may I say, or YouTube, or Spotify. Guys, that's not us done. Do not worry. We're just going to go on to a little bit of aviation news. Loganair celebrates as Domestic Airline of the Year for the second time running. Whoa. I know you need to do that. Virgin Atlantic returns to Dubai for the first time since 2019. Virgin Atlantic touched down to Dubai for the first time since it last operated a flight to UAE in 2019, the 4-weekly service from London Heathrow. Play returns for the best financial quarter results ever. Icelandic Airline Play have made a net profit of 5.2 million in the third quarter of 2023, its stronger quarter to date according to the results today. That is not commercial, so do you want, guys, if you want to hear some commercial flights, just let me know, okay? Because some people might want to hear that. Flight resumed as Bristol Airport after runway lights failure. So it looks like flights are starting to get back to normal in Bristol Airport after flying was suspended this morning due to failure of the runway lighting system. Ooh. We're going to give you a little bit of some news, basically. Like, a little bit of, like, if you didn't know. Like, telling you. So, do you know what the little wee things get on the runway? You see a runway, you see the wee sticks, you see the wee things coming up. The wee yellow things, do you know? The wee yellow things are the lights on top. If you didn't know that, guys, they are runway approach lights. That's to tell the pilot you're coming up to the runway. So that's a little bit of that. If you didn't know, let me just see what I could tell you. Okay, do you know like direction? Do you know when you're on the runway? It literally has like A, B, arrow. That's the directions. That's the directional arrows points to interest runways and taxiways. Okay, I'd love to show you a picture. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will put a picture up that as well. Okay, now this podcast I know was a little bit boring. I didn't plan to make it today, so I didn't have that much stuff to talk about. Obviously I have literally loads of time to make out what I want to say, what we're going to talk about on our next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching Clear for Takeoff podcast, first episode. I know you're probably that is so boring. Anyway, I will have a better one next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Clear for Takeoff podcast. See you next time. Bye bye.